Hey, today we are working on a temp fade, and this is Sergio the Barber, the instructor here at the Barbering Academy. So, we're going to start with my Babyliss Pro trimmer. We're going to start with a clean start by using the trimmer for our taper fade. I'm going to ask our client to lean their head forward, and we're going to start with a nice clean line. I'm not going to go too high, but I'm going to make a nice clean line to start my taper fade. I'm gonna go up against the grain to lighten the area to make it a nice clean start. Like I always say to my students, have a nice smooth landing. I'm gonna use my wall magic clip, one of my babies. I'm gonna start with my clipper guard open. I'm gonna go up about a finger length, get it cleaned up. Again, to start my smooth landing, make sure you have a hairbrush on hand to brush that hair down as you are cutting and making that tape fade. Go until I see that it's clean enough, and then I'm going to grab my 0.5. And I'm still going to keep the clipper guard open. This is my half guard. Brush down, leave my clipper open, and I'm going up another finger length again. I'll be doing the detail work very shortly. Now we have our one guard here on our wall magic clip, and I'm still keeping my clipper open. I'm stretching that fade out. Make sure it's nice and smooth, a nice smooth transition. That's what a fade is. A fade is a nice transition from light to dark. So that's what we want. Again, we haven't done any detail just yet. We're just going with our one guard. We're just fading up. And then next, I'm going to jump to my 1.5. Make sure we have, again, as I state, a smooth landing. 1.5 guard, open. And I'm going up just a little higher than usual, making sure that whole area looks nice and smooth and ready for my fade transition. And I'm going to start closing it. And this is where I'm going to start with my detail work. This is when I start opening and closing my clipper guard to adjust for the light and dark areas. So right now, it's about halfway closed with my with my 1.5 guard. And I'm going around the nape area to make sure those darker areas are lightened up. And then I'm going to go in reverse and go back to my 1. This is the detail portion. I have my 1 guard, and it's about halfway closed right now. And I'm using my corners of my clipper to ensure that I don't create a new line. And so I'm continuing to use my corners to ensure a smooth transition. As I say, this should be called smooth transition, this video. So off camera, I did a pre-lineup on the sides of Brian's nape and neck area. So as we can see, it's rather clean on the side already. So we don't have to go and do a lineup on the side neck and nape area on my client here. Again, this is the detail, opening and closing as I please, as I need to, as I should say. I'm getting these darker areas. I'll slow down a bit so you all can see. And I'm opening and closing still with my half guard. Finish off with our clipper, about halfway closed. And we'll go to the very bottom of the nape. Lean forward just a little bit if you could. All right. Start open. And then I'll start closing up a bit. I'm getting all the rest of the lines, the faint line that I see down here that I use with my trimmer. I'm getting that faint line out to make sure it starts nice and smooth and clean into our tape. Let's do some polishing. Go back with my one and polish up. Nice smooth transition. Hold on, let's see. See my 1.5, and that's about it. Close down just a little bit with my 1.5. So down here, we still have just a little bit of hair that is covered up by the neck strip and the cape. So we proceed to use our trimmer again. Lightly flick with your trimmer to get some lighter or some darker lines out. This is a little trick you can use in your detail work, finishing up your cut. And then the last thing I'll do is I'll ask my client if it's okay to use a foil shaver in the nape area. Is it okay to use a foil shaver in the nape area? Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm gonna use my Babyliss foil shaver in his nape areas to get it cleaned up and ready to go. So I'm using my foil shaver and I'm only using one of the foils. As we see, it's a double foil shaver, but I'm only using one of the foils and I'm using it almost like a colored pencil. I'm using it to shade and get just under the line where I started the fade initially. And as we did the temper fade just earlier today, we hooked it up and made them look nice and clean. Served at a barber instructor. That was a nape fade or a taper fade. Y'all be great. Peace.